And now, introducing Part 2 of The Case of the Mad Vandal. High School Confidential again welcomes Silo County Juvenile Corrections Officer Thornton B. Fingerhoof. Chief Fingerhoof.
As you may remember from last week, the high school has been plagued by an anonymous vandal who deposited his vandalism in and about the school grounds. Disgusting, you say? True! But the willful abuse of regular, healthy bodily functions by the criminal mind is as old as modern crime fighting. Tonight's concluding chapter may appear on the surface obscene, but it is a story that will be repeated in our schools until young people learn that playing with their vandalisms is playing with fire. Did you get that? Thank you!
And now the final chapter of The Case of the Mad Vandal. When we last left Chuck Farley, safety patrolman, he had been cleverly framed by a mysterious vandal who terrorized Kefauver High with his terrible vandalisms, if you know what I mean, and whose identity Chuck suspects is somehow connected with a 50-year-old Kefauver yearbook. Now, stripped of his badge, his friends, and his pants, Chuck stands before Principal Cornholt in student court. Order! Order in the court! Come on, your head's not on a swivel! Mr. Farley, your fellow classmates have found you delinquent in school spirit and roaming the halls to vandalize school property in the first degree.
I'd kicked around Kefauver High a long time, but it wasn't until Mr. Cornholt read the verdict that I flashed on why our mascot was a kangaroo.
Now it is my duty to sentence you to write, "I will not vandalize school property 100,000 times. After which you shall be sent home from school without your diploma. And may your parents have mercy upon your allowance. Any last requests, Farley?
Could I have my pants? It's kind of chilly. And
Overruled. Court's adjourned. Chuck Farley sentenced to write, "I will not vandalize school property 100,000 times." What will he do?
Well, first I stuffed 15 pencils in my fist and wrote out my sentence in 5 minutes. Then, using a gift from a friend of mine who specialized in bogus hall passes, I began to search for the real Mad Vandal. I had to find Babs, if she'd speak to me, which I doubted. By now, the whole school had turned against me.
Hey, gang! Look who's here! Old Mad Vandal himself!
Yeah, I hear he's carrying a real heavy load this semester.
Nice play, Shakespeare.
Yeah, smooth move. Bow.
You know, with old Chucky boy here expelled, I would hate to see that babe Babs Buttermilk go stag to the big swim meet and prom after. I thought maybe I'd,
you? Hey, okay, Farley. Hey,
come on,
leave
quit
me
it.
alone,
Ow.
Come on, Farley.
Okay, you animals, break it up.
Hey,
come on, knock it off.
We isn't doing nothing.
All right, what's this all about, Charles?
well, Miss Truck, ma'am, what happened was,
Sure, a likely story. Come on, Farley. It's the principal's office for you.
We'll be right back in just a minute, and you can bet the Mad Vandal will be in it.
You sent for me, Mr. Cornholt, sir?
Oh, yes, Farley, sit down. Care for a Tootsie Roll?
No, thanks, sir. I'm trying to quit.
No, fine. Now, Charles, I know I've seemed harsh, but frankly, Farley, I'm a bit disappointed in you.
I know, sir, but I'm clean.
The student council found otherwise, Charles, and as I always say, there is no sanction without law.
Point well made, sir, but...
You know, Charles, I never married. Maybe that's why I think of you all as my sons and daughters. You see that, don't you, boy?
I did, and I also saw his finger heading for my nose, and you know what that means, so I quickly told him how Mr. McColostomy, the janitor, had remembered a mad vandal at Kefauver 50 years before, and that Miss Truck was the last person seen with the 1924 yearbook, The same yearbook Babs and I were searching for when I was framed by the floating vandalism in the school swimming pool.
This is all very interesting, Farley, but rules are rules. And until your so-called mad vandal is caught, you must take your punishment like a man. And the prom remains canceled. Now, Farley, you're to be off school property in 5 minutes.
In my locker, I found a note from Babs to meet her in home ec class. And as I expected, there was a little message in my gym bag from someone else.
Guide your hot rods. Watch your Harley. The Mad Vandal's name is Mr. Chuck U. Farley.